Spielberg's Empire of the Sun is very long and seems to move at a slow narrative pace. The film feels like Spielberg is trying to move in a different direction, yet there are many of Spielberg's classic themes. He seems to have a knack for working with children, and Christian Bale seems to be one of them, especially since the part of the story is of a boy searching for his parents, which is close to Spielberg's heart.
I don't believe all the cinematic motifs of Spielberg are in this movie, partly due to the fact that David Lean was the director who at first was developing this movie but later abandoned the project. There was no really clear father figure or mother figure since they really did not play a big role in the film. Both parents seem to genuinely care for Jim, but when they separate in Shanghai's panic-stricken mob, Jim has to fend for himself.
Unlike previous Spielberg films, this is less a celebration of the wonders of childhood and more a lament for the loss of a child's innocence. Jim is a boy who doesn't want to grow up, because to do so would mean having to acknowledge the terrible things that have happened to him, as well as forcing him to consider the childhood that he has lost. Empire of the Sun is a rare Spielberg film that doesn't try to reassure its audience or make everything clear-cut. The film even features an ambiguous conclusion that doesn't feel like an incongruous, upbeat ending that jars with the rest of the film. Empire of the Sun is not as graphic as the hellish worlds of Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan, but Spielberg doesn't sugarcoat the horrors of war. He shoots much of the film from Jim's point of view and shows us not only what Jim sees but also how he sees it. Although Jim's interpretation of his experiences resembles a romanticized PG-rated war movie, where much of the violence is implied rather than shown, it's still a shocking and unsettling view of events. The moment when Jim returns to his empty home after the invasion of Shanghai, he enters his mother's bedroom and sees a bare footprint in some talcum powder that covers the floor. For a moment, Jim is happy to see this reminder of his mother, but he is quickly shaken from his reverie when he notices other footprints and violent swipe marks on the floor, which hint at signs of struggle. And later, when Basie is violently beaten by the Japanese on 2 occasions, both times we cut to Jim's face watching the brutality before him. In both instances, we get a vivid sense of the appalling violence being dealt out to others and its effects on Jim.
There are also Spielberg's fixation with orbs when there is a shot of Jim with the sun in the background. We see the orbs again in the color purple and E.T. Even if the narrative is not the best, the performances from great actors like Christian Bale and John Malkovich really keep the audience engaged and kept me watching it from beginning to end.